النفس البشرية كلها أسرار. ورا كل شخصية ناجحة محبوبة في الكوميونتي كواليتيز كتير محدش يعرف عنها. قصص حقيقية ورؤية وخبرات ودروس وتحديات شكلت شخصيتهم وكونت قوتهم. كل واحد عنده story to tell and to inspire. هنتقابل ونتحاور مع the real person beyond the surface. Today I have the pleasure to interview one of the most well-known real estate leaders in the GTA. Also, he is one of the top realtors in Canada. His team and his brand is very huge in the luxury and residential market. Welcome, Sam McDadi, in Beyond the Surface show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for having me as well. It is my pleasure really to talk to you. And I remember when we first talked, you were such an inspiration for me because your story is very challenging and very attractive. So I would love everyone watching Beyond the Surface. Here's the same story as well.
Sure.
First of all, we would like to know, who is Sam McDadi?
Well, I mean, for me, we'll talk about my journey, my path. Actually, I was born in Beirut, Lebanon. Parents moved to Canada when I was about 3-4 years of age. And, you know, when I was younger, we had a really close-knit family. At the age of 15, my dad had a successful business. Age 15, he lost everything, right? So he kind of took his eye off the ball. So for me, it was kind of like an aha moment that, I went from a place of feeling that, we're going to be pretty comfortable financially to now where I've got to, think differently. And my big goal was to really work hard to take care of my family, my parents. And so with that, there's a paradigm shift where I thought, okay, now, instead of being in a comfortable position where I could come into the family business, I've got to now think otherwise. So, after that, I had a love and passion for the game of tennis. I was playing it, pretty much 6-8 hours a day, and was fortunate enough to get a tennis scholarship. And after I completed my undergrad studies, I did an MBA afterwards, University of South Carolina. Then I came back and worked in corporate finance. And I felt, I'm really unhappy. I don't like this 9 to 5, and I feel stifled. And if I have to do this for 40, 50 years, I'll feel a life that's unfulfilled, right? So I stumbled onto real estate, and I said, I love this business. I don't feel like I'm working anymore. I just hope I can make a living at this, right? And eventually, after a few years, we turned the corner and things started going positively, and here we are today.
How many years you worked in the real estate before creating your own brand?
So it was a process. It was organic. So initially, I was a singular agent, and I wanted to do everything myself, and I pretty much didn't let anybody touch anything. So I was writing the ads, I was qualifying clients, I was doing everything. I learned from the ground up, right? So, but at one point, I was getting too busy. I said, I have to bring on some other assistants. I just can't do it at the same level, provide the same quality of service. So I brought in some realtors. And then slowly but surely, we had 2 or 3 or 4, and then it went to 5, and then to 10, and today we've got a team of about 100, including a supporting cast as well, with 7 offices.
Oh, 7 offices.
7 offices.
Where are the branches located?
So, my home base is Mississauga, which is where we are today. I've got a North Mississauga location as well, Oakville, Milton, Hamilton, Burlington, and Yonge and Lawrence.
Wow, so you're covering all the GTA.
The GTA, that was the goal, to kind of take over GTA.
Very much interesting.
Yeah.
And tell me about when we go back to your childhood.
Yes.
Who was the main inspiration for you to be like an entrepreneur in the beginning?
I think my dad having at one point a successful business was somebody I looked up to. Obviously, it then failed, but I think he had the entrepreneur flair. And I saw with both my parents a very strong work ethic. So they both were very hardworking. They were committed to bringing up the best possible, family and children. And so they're really good role models for me as well.
Amazing. And do you think there was a turning point that shaped who you are now in your childhood?
Well, I believe without a shadow of a doubt, my dad's failure in business was a moment where I had to take a pause and reflect and see, what the journey was going to look like for me. And it was really difficult because we were very comfortable, or so it was perceived to be that.
So it was a shift.
It was a big shift. So we went from owning a house in Lorne Park to renting for many years and being bounced around. So that to me was an eye-opener that I really wanted to succeed, not for the toys and all that stuff. It was really to take care of my family. It was, I just wanted to make sure. And my dad passed away just over 24 years ago, but before he passed away, I bought my parents a house, right? So I felt very happy about that.
Okay. Do you remember one of the challenges that you've been through in the beginning of creating your own brand, and how did you get motivated to push through?
Yeah, so, initially when I was starting out, I didn't, we weren't a known entity. So, when we were knocking on doors and trying to get business, we weren't who we are today, right? So you had to work extra hard to earn the trust of your clients, right? So, there's a lot of heavy lifting to get to where we are today. People see us today, they don't see the sacrifices you made for all those decades.
And that's what's beyond
to get to where you are today, right? So, I could say uncategorically, there's nobody who worked harder than me in the real estate industry. So I really burned the midnight oil. I was committed to being the best. I was a student of real estate. I lived, breathed, and ate real estate. So I knew the price I have to pay for success. And I think today, when I see a lot of the younger generation, they want to get to the top, but they're not ready to pay the price for it, right? Exactly. And there's a heavy price to pay, and sometimes there's almost
you have to work hard.
Have to work really hard, and sometimes there's almost an imbalance. So in my early years, I was just working super, super hard. I didn't take a vacation for 7 years.
Oh.
I worked 7 days, 14, 15, 16 hours every single day, right? But that was my goal. I had to make sure that, I wanted, the family priorities and goals to make sure they're secure and comfortable was very important to me. So
that's very interesting. When I stepped into the office, the first time I stepped in, I found that this office is different. It is unique. It is remarkable. It is a brand more than it is just a real estate brokerage.
Yes.
So this is what I think from an end user point of view that it differentiates, part of the differentiation. Yes. But from your point of view, what do you think, what is the differentiation in your brand in the market?
Well, when I first started off, it was interesting because I realized at one point I wanted to build a brand that's unquestionably synonymous with real estate, right? So I realized I was in real estate for the long run. I wasn't going to be 1 or 2 years. So, every time I was bringing some revenue, I kept aside 10 to 20% towards marketing and building the brand and building the company. So, and over time, as the business started gaining momentum and the revenue was higher, 20% of X became a much bigger number we could deploy towards marketing, right? And my whole goal was that anybody working with me, with my team, when you said Sam McDadi, they knew it was real estate, right? Yeah. And that was a really big driver for me as well. And it costs money to do that, and it wasn't over time because we started with zero, minus because we had student loans. So it wasn't like, I came into this business with an abundance of wealth or money. I didn't have any of the above, but I had a strong work ethic and desire to succeed.
And this is what's very respectful. What is the normal day, a typical day in Sam McDadi's life?
So I love health and I love sports, so that's a big part of my being. So in the morning it's Sam time. So I get a massage Sam time is important for me. So it energizes me and it gets me ready for the day ahead. And sometimes there's challenges and every day is different. But from typically 7 in the morning, this morning I had my massage, I got a stretch, then I worked out. So I have, all my people come to my house, and massage is very important for me because it helps keep the body loose and nimble, and I get stretched and I work out.
Is that a daily routine?
Every day. I get a massage every single day.
Interesting.
And stretch 4 times a week. And then in my house, I've got a red light bed, a hyperbaric chamber, a cold plunge, a class 4 laser, infrared and dry sauna and shock wave. So I'm very much a proponent of health, and I have a chef that is really good for me because he only cooks organic, clean foods. So I'm very about what the food I put in my body as well.
At Team McDadi, we have great synergy. It's a beautiful family that we're all proud to be a part of.
Team McDadi, #1 real estate team across Ontario, 15 years in a row.
We build our business with honesty, trust, and integrity.
We are #1 team, we know the real estate.
Proud to be part of Team McDadi, where excellence, integrity, and innovation defines everything we do.
No home is too big or too small for Team McDadi.
#1 in the GTA for 14 years. 16,400 plus homes sold. $10.5 billion in home sales.
Sam McDadi.
Sam, you have a huge team, which is ranked as #1 for the last 14 years, right? And you should be very proud, of course, of them. I have a lot of questions regarding team because I think that's the core of the business, like human resources, personnel, right? So, first of all, what is your leadership philosophy?
Oh, I think for me, all our team members become part of the family, right? So, and I think it's important to, be kind and nice to people, not lead by intimidation and fear, but more out of respect. And I think that's always been my motto. So I think most people who've worked with us are long-term partners. So they don't stay here for a year or two. They're usually lifers, right?
Yeah.
So we just had somebody who just retired. He was with us 30 years, and on our website, he wanted us to put retired realtor. He still wanted to be part of the team, but just, he wasn't able to continue working as, his health was, his health wasn't the same anymore. So I think the philosophy within is I don't micromanage. If I give somebody a responsibility, I believe they're going to do the job when we brought them on. Unless I have cause for concern, I'm not overseeing people's, I let them do what they have to do. And I think they like the fact I have trust in their abilities, that I'm not overlooking their shoulder on every step, right? So I think that's important as well.
Yeah. Do you have specific traits for hiring?
So yes, and interestingly, we don't, we could have 1,000 realtors. We choose not to, right? We would rather have quality over quantity. So we get probably 2 or 3 or 4 applicants every day that want to join the team. And for the most part, we'll let them know we're running at full capacity, but thank you for your interest and we'll keep you in mind. If we see something interesting in that resume or application, that might lead to an interview. But for the most part, we're happy with the quantity we have, because we also want to make sure that it doesn't get too diluted with too many people and we lose kind of that close-knit feeling that's important for us as well.
And do you adopt diversity in the team?
Oh, that's very important for me. So
right.
We've got a slogan within our team that's no house is too big, too small, and we speak your language. So we have teammates that speak over 20 plus languages. So we think it's really important in a city that's multicultural. We've embraced that, we relish that, and so we build a team structure around that as well too.
And that, of course, helps with different clients, because we are in Canada, so we have clients everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. So oftentimes, actually, people feel more comfortable speaking in their native tongue.
Exactly.
So if somebody's from, they speak Cantonese, then we have our agent who speak Cantonese, if they speak Russian, German, Italian, Punjab, we've got all the rainbows covered, and we think that's really important because it is a diverse city, and it's important to identify that and build a team structure around that as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. How do you keep them motivated all the time?
It's not always easy. I mean, we've had a little bit of an adverse market the last year and a half. So, it was 2021. Everybody's super happy because the revenue's high. Everybody's doing well. But this market's, it's shifted a little bit. So, it's important for us to, identify agents who are struggling, and we have one-on-ones. And we think that, we have weekly meetings with all our teammates, but I'm very accessible. So I'm not like leading from, the ivory tower and you can't get access to me. I mean, they call me anytime. Because we really develop a friendship and a bond more than anything else, and work becomes, the secondary feature. And of course, we all want to do well and thrive and succeed, but we want to build a good environment for everybody to have that success.
And do you believe that the team culture is very important to have, events, activities, award events that also motivates, right? You have this
very important. So I mean, we got away from it during COVID years, but we used to I take the team once a year, either on a cruise or to Vegas, and a really good team bonding experience. And we have quite a few team functions throughout the year, and that is very important for us to build that chemistry within the team.
What does family mean to you?
Yeah, of course, family is very important. I mean, that's it's everything. So I've got. Obviously.
How many siblings you have?
I've got 2 brothers and a sister, my mom. I've got a lot of nieces and nephews, no kids, right? So, but no, family's very important for sure.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Sam, what piece of advice would you give to the young entrepreneurs or a realtor who wants to start his own brand like yours?
So I think we have to understand Rome wasn't built in a day. And for our business practice, people see where we are today, but they didn't see the 35-year journey to get here. So I think you have to have patience, persistency, and understand it takes time. And there's many times I could have given up where things weren't going my way, but believe in yourself. Sometimes there's people who are negative, are going to give you negative comments and dissuade you. But as long as you know in your mind you're in the path, you're passionate about what you're doing, you will succeed. But know that sometimes it's not overnight, but that's okay. But if you're on the right track and you're building your business with honesty and integrity, you will reach success, even though you have to understand there's a patience process as well.
That's amazing advice. Okay, now if we are talking about your personal part, the most important part in your life, which is sports, what does tennis means to you?
Tennis is my favorite sport, and so I've been
How many
fortunate
years
that
you've been playing
oh, I
tennis?
mean, I've been playing 45 years, 50 years. So it's
And you're
been
still,
oh yeah, I still play. So when I'm in Florida and I go down every month, I have a place there, and that's kind of my happy place. I'm playing every day on the clay courts and an hour to two, and so that I love
so
tennis.
it's
And
not only sports, it's just a passion. It's part of your daily
passion.
routine.
It's part of me, my
Part of you,
identity. Yeah,
part
it's
of
an
you.
important piece for me. So no, tennis is great. I've been fortunate. I've been at Wimbledon a couple times, the French Open 3 times. I've been at the Australian Open, U.S. Open a few times. I've met all the top players. I've had some great encounters with them. So it's been pretty. I've been pretty blessed that way. I mean, I'm very much into sports, and I've had an opportunity to meet many athletes and develop relationships. And it also helps you understand their mindset and how they think,
I was just
and
going
that's
to
very.
tell you, tennis also is not a sport. It's a mindset.
Yeah, it really is, right? And tennis is a little different in that it's not a team sport. You're one-on-one, right? So you can't blame the goalie. You can't blame anybody else but yourself. So you have to deal with adversity and pressure and have to thrive in that
The sense of
environment.
responsibility.
Yeah, and it's great to shape you for the person you want to be in the future. So I think me playing tennis and competitively, when I got into the work world, it didn't feel like it was pressure. I already understood how to deal with pressure and embrace it as well. So.
Yeah. Toronto Raptors.
Oh, Raptors are great. Yeah, I love the Raptors. I've been fortunate to have built a really good relationship with the Raptors, and my good friend Nav Badia invited me in 2019 to be his courtside
I
friend.
met this amazing guy.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun. So the first year actually had courtside seats is the year they won. That's when Kawhi came and they won the championship. And so since then, we deal probably with 90% of the Raptors. They're my clients. I'm the official broker of the Toronto Raptors. So we built a really nice little niche for the Toronto Raptors, and it's been a lot of fun. And I love what they've been doing, and I think this year they'll surprise many people.
Very interesting. One of the houses that is very memorable for you that you've sold, and why?
Well, I have to say that the most expensive house in Mississauga, right? That was I'd have to go to that, right? So that was it was on the market for quite a few years. In fact, I think you probably know the people, but so I was happy to take on that project. And when you're talking about a $20 million plus asset, it's not that many buyers that are there. So it was on the market. The home was on the market for 4 or 5 years, and then we took it on and sold it within 90 days, right? So we were and brought our own buyer as well. So that was rewarding for sure because it set the record for the highest sale
And
price
it's a
in
remarkable
Mississauga.
sale, right?
Yeah, and yeah. So it was a fun process and journey, and yeah. So we've had many great memories and moments, but I think that probably sticks in mind as one of the top ones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Community engagement. I know that you are deeply involved in community and you sponsor and you do lots of charity.
Yes.
Talk about this, especially when it comes to Trillium. I would like to know
Yeah,
that.
if we've had some level of success, we almost have, I believe, an obligation to give back to help others less fortunate. And so, I mean, because health is so dear to me, and when we were approached with a gentleman named Dr. Colin Saldana, I was involved with Laugh Out Loud, which was raising funds for different health initiatives every year, and they bring different comedians. It was a really fun event. Eventually, that kind of during COVID tapered off a little bit, but then they asked us to, when they were building the new hospital at Trillium, they needed some sponsors and donors, and so we got involved with that, and we, pledged $1 million, which, we're happy to do that. And I think to me, that was probably our biggest commitment, but we help a lot of other small organizations through. We don't talk too much about it, but I think that if we see somebody's...
It's very valuable.
Yeah, but if somebody's in need and we can do something, we're ready to help out for sure, right? So if somebody says, I need, to have, baseball tickets or whatever, that's not as high on the priority because it's not somebody you need as much. Of course, if we can, we will, but somebody who maybe has cancer, right? Yeah, I mean, that resonates with me. If we can help them out because maybe they can't get treatment, etc., then we're ready to help as best we can.
That's very amazing and very respectful. Your slogan, no home is too big or too small for Team Sam McDadi. What was the perspective behind that?
So when I first started, I was a first-time buyer specialist. And so we were dealing back then, 35 years ago, with properties that were selling for $80,000, $100,000, right? And I didn't, back then, ironically, didn't even want listings. I didn't know what listings were. I didn't want them, which is kind of, we've done a paradigm shift. But then, of course, at some point, those buyers became sellers. And probably about 15 years ago, maybe longer now, I said, we've really captured or cornered the mid-low price range, but we should also get the high end too, right? Because we've got all the skill sets, we've got the value-added services, we had our own stagers, our own furniture and accessories, our inspector, so our marketing team, our photographers, all in-house, and nobody else really had that. So we were well poised or positioned to take on the higher end properties. So, but we did that with pretty quickly and with pretty high success, to the point where a lot of people started thinking, oh, he only is doing high end now. And that was dangerous for us, because we really do want to service everybody. It doesn't matter if you're renting, you're selling a small place,
you're
doing
cover all the market,
the whole segment of the market. So, and then we'd hear from a lot of our friends and in the inner circles that, he doesn't do small anymore. He only does, the $5-10 million range. And that was not really accurate. So we had to redefine our marketing slogan to say no house too big or too small.
I really like that, because it gives a broad spectrum.
Yeah, and I think that's
everyone
important.
is welcomed. Like if I want to sell a house with 400K, which is not a big amount, I would approach Sam because of this slogan.
Yeah, and we did get a lot of people calling after. We didn't know when we saw that, then we called, and we're so delighted that we did call, because then they realized, we're not just high end. I mean, high end's really just the cherry on top. Our bread and butter is the mid-price range, to be honest with you, because there's not how many people are spending, $10 million.
Yeah, but
it's
you're
a small.
open for all kind of customers.
Listen, we do a lot of rentals too, so there's no business. I mean, I always tell our team members, just provide good quality service, take care of your client, the rest takes care of itself. I mean, whether it's a rental, a mid-price, a high price, just do the right thing, and then your business will flourish in the long run. We are proud to have authored a book called Making Sense of Real Estate. We felt there was a need in the industry to have the A to Z of real estate. It's really a real estate Bible. We're happy to provide this to all our clients as well at no cost. No home is too big or too small for Team McDadi.
Number 1 in the GTA for 14 years. 16,400 plus homes sold. $10.5 billion in home sales.
Sam McDadi.
Red. What does red mean to you? Red color.
All right. I just, it's funny. Since I was younger, there's just
I love the red, and I love the spirit.
Red's always been kind of my, since I was young, just liked the color red, and so our branding was a lot of it was red.
I think it's very attractive. It attracts people.
It's just, I think, something that innately I've liked since I was younger, and we incorporate that into our marketing colors as well. So.
But it's a very good in branding, and I think it stays in the mind of every human being that watches like a C logo with the red color. It leaves like a footprint. I think so. Yeah,
and I wouldn't say I thought about it so deeply, but it just more resonated with me. But it's good that it does that too.
Yeah, it does too. One-stop customer experience. I've heard that in your bio.
Yeah.
Explain.
So we wanted to build a business where, if you want to transact in real estate, we take care of everything for you. So there's once I remember driving down the lakeshore, and I saw one of our bus shelters said top 10 things to do. Call Sam, we'll take care of the other 9 now. And I didn't create that, but I loved it. So I love that.
It's like a turnkey solution, right?
Yeah. So within our framework, everybody's in-house, right? So whether you need lawyers, mortgages, stagers, inspectors, if you're thinking in real estate, we'll take care of everything for you, right? So, but of course, if somebody has somebody that they're dealing with, that's fine as well too. But if somebody says, hey, listen, we want to leave everything to you. You take care of the whole enchilada, then we will, right? Or they might say, my brother's a broker or a lawyer. Of course, use your brother as a lawyer, no problem. But we have availability and relationships with all the different pieces for the real estate transaction to make somebody's life easier.
Perfect. What does success means to you?
I think success is being, kind to people, being successful in your work endeavors, being a good family person, giving back to the community, taking care of your health, all of the above.
Sam, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
I love what I'm doing, so I want to continue doing that. I might start doing more public speaking with different real estate opportunities. Might develop a RIT with one of our couple friends of ours. So it's everything in the real estate sector. That's what I know. That's, I think, the space I understand best. And so I understand the lane that works for me, so I stay in that lane. But, I still am very enthusiastic and passionate and energetic about what I do. And I want to continue doing this for hopefully the next, 2-3 decades. Because as long as I have passion, then I'll continue doing what I'm doing. If I lose that passion, then it's probably time to fade into the sunset. But my hope is that the passion, the flame doesn't ever go away. That's my hope.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
What legacy do you want to leave behind, Sam McDadi?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think just somebody who, I think who, regardless of the success I did or didn't have, was a humble person who cared and gave back as best we could, right? So, yeah.
I think you're going to earn it.
Thank you.
Sam, when we started, you said you understand a little bit of Arabic.
I do a little bit, yes.
We want to end this interview by saying any small Arabic word.
Shukran.
Oh, thank you very much, and shukran for this amazing interview.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much, Sam.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.